Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm super uber mega excited to share the storyline of Sophie and Camila. To be honest, I really got caught off guard regarding their whole relationship. So let's get right into further details and speak about it.
Keep.
What do you mean? It's one, I guess. So,
Dang, I'm sorry.
yeah. You should to Elijah. Like for practice. And he just kind of like snapped at me.
Still an old lady muffin?
It's a manifestation muffin. A manifesting.
Yeah, so recently I came across this series, and to be honest, I was thinking there was something going on, or a possibility of something going on between the, two very interesting characters, in this case, Sophie and Camila. Obviously, I had to go ahead and go watch the show to see for my own eyes so I can give my own personal opinion regarding everything. And yes, a lot of people have their own personal view on it, on how everything led to and what actually happened between them. So I would just be here to also give my own personal perspective of everything that happened. And hopefully, we will get a season two, because I feel like season two will definitely give us more answers, on what we need to know, especially when it comes to their dynamic and their relationship that they have built so far. So basically, the series follows a group of ER residents that navigate medical crisis and personal drama aimed at diverse allegations, at the, in this case, Miami Hospital. Yes, the show is basically called Pulse. It's Pulce. I will repeat that. Pulce, and it's basically available to guess where, available to watch on Netflix. It got one season available with 10 episodes. Sophie and Camilla are two surgical residents at Maguire Hospital, a level one trauma center. So that's basically where the whole relationship, situation, friendship, atmosphere develop between the two. And that's basically how the two get together and just create this bond that at the beginning was very questionable. But as the season progresses, you can basically start to see how things, between the two develop, and how things between the two basically just increases. So basically, Sophie is a surgical resident who has a rotation with a senior surgeon, Cole, who she finds challenging to work with. At the other hand, we have Camila. She's basically new to the hospital, and she is a medical student who's basically there to do practices and just to get a little bit more of knowledge on her field, and just, to explore. So she basically starts to develop a very close, relationship with Sophie, as she starts to see how Sophie is basically treated by Cole, and she feel like that, in this case, Sophie, she needs to stand up for herself more and basically tell Cole to chill out and be more demanding when it comes to her own personal challenges that she has to deal when it comes to her basically graduating and officially becoming a doctor. So there is a lot going on. At the beginning, you can see that Camila, she came in very blossoming, very new energy, very girly girl, very like nice to everybody, super friendly to everybody. And on the other hand, you can see Sophie's a little bit more, laid back, very to herself, very stressed out, very out to work, very exhausted. So it's like kind of two different energies that they were giving at the beginning. So you can later see that Sophie and Camila decided to, like I said, get closer to one another, as they went through a lot together during this whole process of them just being in the hospital. Obviously, Camila facing her challenges, her things that she is going through when it comes to her just trying to figure out if the hospital is actually where she wants to stay at, because, seeing how Cole is treating Sophie and how hard it is making for Sophie, when it comes to her personal, challenge as a doctor, she was starting to have her own doubts if she actually should remain at the hospital, or basically go ahead and go try find, a way somewhere else and basically transferred to another hospital. Obviously, when Sophie ends up finding out about that, she was super upset, because at that point, she and Camila, they were already building this amazing connection, and she didn't want also, Camila to lose this big opportunity to, to work at one of the best hospitals, in the state, because of, the situation that she sees going on between, in this case, Sophie and Cole. So later on, obviously, somewhere, somehow, Sophie, she spoke kind words to, in this case, Camila, to try to convince her to stay. But, Camila actually ends up deciding to stay because, of a conversation that was held in an elevator. And that's where she finally have decided to take back, and stay at the hospital. So by that, we can say if there is a season, so we might see a little bit more of Camila, working more, effectively in the hospital. Not only that, you can also see that, Camila, she definitely is trying to bring, Sophie out of her comfort zone, a little bit more out of her box, trying to make her see things differently, because, Camila is the type of person, she doesn't just say what Sophie has to, say, like, see, like, she also give her own personal opinions on certain things. She just doesn't, let Sophie just walk all over her, but she does have a way on saying it by being kind, by being sweet, by being direct, by being understanding. So I feel like that's one of the things that definitely drew, in this case, Sophie to Camila and Camila to Sophie, because they are just two different people, but they want the same thing, which is to succeed and just to be happy, even though they're doing it in two different ways. Later on, you can see during a conversation, this was the last episode, that there's the moment you can basically see that Sophia, she was just opening her heart to Camila, and just complimenting her so much, and just saying that what a great person she is, how kind she is, and just spoken a lot of good positive words towards Camila. So there was a moment where I saw them actually like linking in close. It looks like they were about to kiss. And obviously Sophie was the one who made the move. And like you can see that Camila, at no point she was actually pulling away. She was actually like there, to let that moment happen. But as soon as they were about to click, you can basically see that unfortunately, yes, unfortunately, Camila's fiance walks right through the door with some flowers to give to her, because he didn't know at that point that she was going to leave the hospital, but I guess he was gonna tell him later. And obviously that took Sophie by big surprise, because in a way that Sophie thought that Camila had a boyfriend, or even a fiance at this point. And obviously Sophie was shook at the moment. She even went and introduced herself, and she actually handled the situation very, very politely and nicely. So yeah, I have to shout out Sophie for that. So you can see that Camila, somewhere somehow, she was kind of like awkward, because she didn't know how to handle the situation. But Camila also handled the situation pretty cute. But we can also say that maybe Sophia jumped the broom, and just because Camila was being super nice to her, super like there for her, during the thick and difficult times, maybe Sophia thought that there was something else, or maybe there is something else, but Camila just already has her own situation going on, and maybe she has to figure out her own situation, if she wants to get married or not, or to see if she and Sophie will get a genuine opportunity to explore something that might be there. So I really do feel like for now we can just say Sophie wants Camila. Camila somewhere somehow might have given signs to Sophie that she wants her as well, or maybe it was just a misinterpretation. So we will have to see if there will be a season 2, if they will give us more information on it, or maybe explore that a little bit more, or maybe they will have a conversation in season 2 to clear things, to see what is going to happen. But yeah, I will say possible love story. That's the only thing that I will resume their situation. In possible love story, I feel like it's still uh a lot to be unveiled. Once again, the show is called Pulse, Pulce, and it is available to watch on Netflix. I will highly recommend all of you to go ahead and go watch it. So yes, guys, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, like, comment, share, subscribe, and thank you so much. Until the next video, and goodbye.